So next step in installing is the flames on the base. Yours is going to come already put together just like this. The wires and the lighting will be installed. Everything will be ready to go. You shouldn't need to do anything. I'll have another video that talks about changing the lights in the flames and changing the flames. But for now, just to keep this quick and moving along, you're just going to take this piece and we're going to put it right in the game. You'll want to take note that on this piece, mine's not all the way put together, but on this piece, these 4 individual lights aren't attached into the flame in any way. They just press up in there. You can hot glue them in if you want, if you're not going to take the flames out or you don't mind pulling off the glue, but they really shouldn't need to be. They can just be pushed up in there and they'll stay. You want this wire, the last bit of this, coming down through the little cutout that's in the base here. It will sort of naturally, this LED will be up in the flames, it will sort of naturally end right about there, coming out of the flames and just fall down there. And once you put it in, where did that come from again? Jeez. Okay, so you won't need to do much. It will be ready to go once that wire comes right down there, and you'll see, I'll show you on the game where that wire is going to go. So let's go over to the game. So you should have a large zip tie included with your package. If not, you'll just grab one. Hopefully you have something like that, a straw, anything that's long and narrow, and that's what you're going to use to feed these wires through. So you can do it a couple different ways. The easiest way that I've come up with is to take the end of this connector, this 3-pin JST connector, and just tape on zip tie or straw or whatever you need. Just something straight, long, and not very flexible. And then you're going to want to feed that item right through the front corner here. And I'll give you a view down through here and from the bottom of the game so you see where it's coming through. Basically, we're just trying to get the wires out of the way of the witch. You can sort of see those wires back over there. Those do pretty much the same thing on that side. So you're going to want to do the same thing on this side. It sort of follows the path of that black flat connector for the LED that's there. So let me grab my zip tie. Okay, so I have my zip tie attached now. I just used a couple turns of electrical tape. Put the big end of the zip tie up here. It just seems to work out a little bit better. That way you get the narrow end down on that side. And you're just going to feed this guy down through. Basically, you'll take this zip tie, and hopefully you'll get a good clean view of this in here. It can go one of 2 places. You can go right behind this guy, and there's a hole right there that it's going to go through. Hard to put it in and look at the same time. So let's see if you can see that down in there. It sort of follows the path of that black LED ribbon cable. So that's one option. Or out the front, there's also another hole. You'll just want to angle it this way a little bit. And you can go out that direction as well. There's a hole next to the switches for the hit on the front of the witch are right there. There's 2 switches right there, and so you'll just want to go next to those and down through the front. You'll see when you get into the game which way is going to work for you. If you have a preference, it doesn't really matter necessarily. I've been using the back one, but either will work. So you'll feed that zip tie down through, and then you're going to need to prop the playfield up to be able to get to this. So what you want to do is just sort of keep pushing that zip tie through, and you're not gonna push the wires all the way through yet because you're not gonna be able to reach down in there, but just sort of let them sit in there. And then this guy is just a press fit on those quick connectors. So you'll just get them on top of it, line the holes up, and then it will just press down and it just locks into place. There we go. And press fit on, sticks on there pretty good. Yeah, that's basically the flame installation. So let's look under the playfield. Alright, so here's the underside of your playfield. You can see my zip ties coming right through the witch bracket there. You would have removed the witch already, so there's no post, no screw, threaded rod coming through that hole there. And so yours should look very similar to this. If you have the other lighting boards, it might look a little different, but same idea, same concept. So you can see where that zip tie comes through, right next to that black ribbon cable. And that's the one option. Other option is up front there. You just want to route it through this little corner here to keep it away from everything. Either way, it shouldn't matter. I would go back unless there's some reason you can't. And then basically you're just going to want to wiggle the zip tie, you know, just slightly. Don't give it too much pressure. and until you get that through. Mine wire here is going to be a little shorter than yours because this is a prototype one. Production ones are longer, so you shouldn't have as much, you should have much more slack here than what I'm showing. Obviously, you'll take the tape off and remove the zip tie, and then we're good with that. We're going to look at the controller and the rest of the installation.
Think you didn't have any brains at all.
I have so got brains.
Well, why don't you use them?